At this point, may I have the honor to acknowledge the presence of our guests from Ayala Foundation Incorporated. We have with us the President, Mr. Ruel T. Maranan, the former AFP Chief of Staff and Ayala Corporation Consultant, General Emmanuel Bautista. Disaster Management and Documentation Associate Manager, Mark Jason Alcantara. And Ayala Foundation, Office of the President, Executive Assistant, Ms. Sara Sevilla. And from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, of course, we have our Secretary, Erwin T. Tulfo, the Social Welfare and Development Undersecretary, Sally Navarro, Disaster Response Management Group Undersecretary, Marco Bautista, and Assistant Secretary for Disaster Response Management Group, Dr. Diana Rose Cahipe. Joining us this morning also are the bereaved families of our 5 fallen heroes from Bulacan, the wife of Mr. George Agustin, Ms. Imelda Agustin, the wife of Mr. Troy Justin Agustin, Ms. Jessa Agustin, the uncle of Marby Bartolome, Mr. Cesar Bartolome, the wife of Gerson Resurrection, Ms. Michelle Resurrection, and the brother of Narciso Calayag Jr., Mr. Ferdinand Calayag. Our condolences to all families of our rescuers. And now, to officially turn over the checks of donations of the Ayala Foundation Incorporated to the bereaved families of our Bulacan rescuers, may we call on the Ayala Foundation President, Mr. Ruel T. Maranan, the Secretary of the Dswd, Sec.Erwin Tulfo, and Social Welfare and Development Undersecretary Sally Navarro. May we enjoin the representatives of each families to receive the cash donations, please. May we also request General Emmanuel Bautista to join the team in front, please. Okay, may we request Ms. Imelda Agustin, the wife of Mr. George Agustin. May we also call on Ms. Jess Agustin, may we call on Mr. Cesar Bartolome? Together with Nilha Bartolome. May we now call on Ms. Michelle Resurrection. Last but not the least, Mr. Ferdinand Calayag, please. Thank you very much. Again, our deepest condolences to all the families of our rescuers. Emily Potter once said, "Heroes never die. They live on forever in the hearts and minds of those who would follow in their footsteps. And definitely, they will be forever cherished and remembered by their families, the people they've touched, and in the case of our fallen heroes, the people they saved and rescued in the midst of duty and catastrophe. To the families, rest assured that the efforts and sacrifices of your loved ones will never go in vain. Our deepest and sincerest condolences to all of you. Our prayers and support are with you in these difficult and challenging times. To our partner, Ayala Foundation Incorporated, thank you very much for honoring and remembering our departed rescuers. Meanwhile, we will proceed shortly to the courtesy call of the Ayala Foundation Incorporated, President to the Secretary of the Department of Social Welfare and Development. But before we proceed to the second part of our activity this morning, perhaps Mr. Ruel Maranan would like to give a message to the families of the fallen rescuers from Bulacan, sir.
Unang-una po, pinapaabot po namin sa kabuuan ng buong Ayala Group of Companies ang aming taus-pusong pakikiramay sa inyong lahat. Nagbibigay pugay din po kami sa inyong mga asawa at kamag-anakan sa kanilang ginawa at pagbubuwis ng kanilang buhay sa pagtulong sa kanilang kapwa. Sa amin pong programa na nauukol sa pagbibigay pugay at paghimok sa maging magiting, ang kanilang kabayanihan ang nagbibigay buhay at inspirasyon sa amin upang umabot po at tumulong sa maraming nangangailangan. Nagpapasalamat din po kami sa opisina po ng ating kalihim ng Dswd, Secretary Tulfo, dahil hindi po nagdalawang isip nung kami ay humingi ng tulong. Dali-dali po kayong inanyayahan at ito po ang ating sitwasyon ngayon. Ito po ay walang katumbas. Sana po ito'y maging panimula at ulitin ko, maging inspirasyon sa nakakarami para po talagang maging parte tayo ng solusyon sa mga pang-araw-araw na pagsubok. So, muli po, manatili po tayo maging magiting sa isip, sa salita, at sa gawa. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ruel Maranan of the Ayala Foundation Incorporated. Perhaps the Secretary would also wish or want to give a message to the families joining us this morning.
Good morning, everyone. There's a saying, and it's a very common saying among rescuers, firefighters, and we see it a lot. It says, so others may live. Then there's another saying, selfless sacrifice. Then there's another saying, a lot of sayings to describe people like those, our brothers that perished, your relatives, your loved ones. You can only thank them enough for their service. But there's one saying that which I like most, and I see it all over the place. Matter of fact, you can see it at the United Nations Avenue in front of the Manila Police District headquarters. It says, go spread the word, tell the passers-by that in this little world, men know how to die. Meaning, hindi po nasayang ho yung buhay. Meaning, ibinuwis po yung buhay so that others may live and others may be saved. I mean, during disasters, kung mayroong you sleep peacefully at night because knowing that there's the police, there's the military, and during calamities, you feel safer because there are people whom we call rescuers, the first responders. Sila po yun yung kamag-anak ninyo. They are the first responders. And they responded to the call of duty. They did not waste their lives. Rather, they gave it to make sure that the people in Bulacan are safe at that very moment. Unfortunately, it was their moment, and nobody have to rescue them but themselves. So muli po ang aking pong pasasalamat ng departamento hindi lang po ng departamento, maging ng buong pamahalaan. Simula po sa executive branch, kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, sa lahat po ng sangay ng pamahalaan, at maging po sa mga pribadong sektor tulad po ng Ayala Foundation, and they are here. Hindi po sapat. It is not enough, no matter how much we give or people will give. No amount in this world can fathom or pay para po doon sa buhay ng mga nawala, ng mga mahal ho ni si buhay. And it's very painful. Yun na lang siguro po yung solace or yung comfort is, at least my wife or my husband or my son, my brother died in the service of the Filipino people, serving, knowing that they gave up their lives to make sure that the people of Bulacan will be safe that day. They were there. Unfortunately, it was their hour. Lastly, I would like to thank the Ayala Foundation, sir, for always being there in times of crisis. Ang Ayala Foundation po ay nariyan at kapartner po ng pamahalaan. Pagtutulong sa tuwing mayroon hong sakuna, tuwing pong may mga problema, krisis ang ating bayan. Katulad po nito. Ayala called me up, the foundation, and said, Secretary, we would like to help out in our own little way. We know it is not much, but it is somewhere, somehow, could help the family. So, that's why dito po kayo ngayon para ibigay po ng Ayala yung kanilang tulong. Para naman po sa kaalaman ng lahat, because we are live right now, sir. Ayala po ay naging partner na po ng Dswd for a long, long time. Di na po kailangan namin tawagan po sila. We don't need to call them. They come. And we know, kasunod na po namin sila. And not only Ayala Foundation, but a lot of foundations in this country have been helping us. Sila po yung mga tinatawag nating mga kasamahan, katulong ng Dswd to help our people in crisis. Anyway, maraming salamat po ulit, Ayala Foundation. Muli po ang aming pong pakikiramay sa mga pamilya po. Ang amin na lamang po, siguro sa puntong ito ay ipanalangin po ang yung mga mahalin niyo sa buhay, okay? That they may rest in peace in the hands of the Almighty. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga.
Thank you very much, Sec.Erwin, for that message. Indeed, as what President Ruel and Sec.Erwin have mentioned, tayo po ay nagpapasalamat sa ipinakitang tapang at malasakit ng inyo pong mga kamag-anak, sa ipinakita po nilang kabayanihan. So, others may live, ika nga po ni Secretary. And ito po ay nagsisilbing inspirasyon sa amin po dito sa Dswd and sa buong gobyerno o sa buong pamahalaan po upang ipagpatuloy ang aming sinumpaang tungkulin. So, muli maraming salamat po President Ruel and Sec.Erwin for your messages. And of course, again, our deepest condolences to the families of our fallen heroes from Bulacan. At this point, we will now proceed with the second part of our activity, which is the courtesy call of the Ayala Foundation Incorporated to the Department of Social Welfare and Development Secretary. So muli maraming salamat po sa ating pong mga bisita ngayong umaga. Okay, so as I've earlier mentioned, today we shall also witness the courtesy call of Ayala Foundation Incorporated President Ruel T. Maranan to Dswd Secretary Erwin Tulfo. It is our honor and pleasure to be with the Ayala Foundation Incorporated this morning. At this juncture, we are here to discuss on the present the past and present programs and projects of Ayala Foundation with the DSWD. More so, we will also present the plans of the departments that the Ayala group of companies can support in the coming days. At this juncture, may we call on the DSWD head, Sec.Erwin Tulfo, to give his message.
To Ayala Foundation President Ruel Maranan, sir. To Ayala Foundation Assistant Manager for Disaster Operations, Mark Alcantara, and their colleagues from Ayala Foundation. To my DSWD family, good morning. Foremost, allow me to recognize the Ayala Foundation and appreciate their contributions to the attainment of the country's development goals and their commitment to making an improvement in the lives of the Filipinos, particularly the poor. We in the government has always acknowledged the significant roles of private sector in nation building. We recognize that the whole nation approach is vital in achieving the aspiration, empowering the poor for an improved level of well-being. Having said that, I thank the Ayala Foundation for partnering with us in public service. Likewise, on behalf of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, let me express our sincerest gratitude to the Foundation for lending a helping hand to the fallen rescuers of Bulacan earlier. We greatly appreciate your generosity to extend assistance to the bereaved families of the 5 heroes who died while in the line of their service during the onslaught of Typhoon Carding in San Miguel, Bulacan. While there's no amount of money can console a grieving heart, your assistance will go a long way for the families left behind by our dearly departed rescuers. As the lead agency in social protection, we recognize our partners like the Ayala Foundation for continuing to take the extra mile to reach out to our kababayans who are in difficult circumstances. To Ayala Foundation, we truly thank you for this act of kindness. Henceforth, that together with the rest of the DSW family, look forward to starting another enduring partnership and cooperation with the Ayala Foundation. The doors of DSWD are always wide open for the Ayala Foundation as we continue to nurture this forged partnership, which we hope will center on providing livelihood and assistance to our kababayans during disasters and other crises. Once again, thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you very much, Sec.Erwin, for that message. Yes, we affirm the fact that the Ayala Foundation Incorporated has long been a partner of the DSWD, particularly in the delivery of the needed services to our clients and beneficiaries. So we would like to reiterate the acknowledgement of the good secretary to the contributions of the Ayala Foundation Incorporated. At this juncture, may we also request President Ruel Maranan to give his message.
Thank you so much. Once again, we would like to thank the very kind and open and progressive office of no less than our Secretary, Erwin Tulfo of DSWD, who has always been very agile in terms of delivering the very basic needs of our people in times of disaster and in times of continuous needs. We in Ayala Foundation, together with the rest of the Ayala group of companies, with my colleague here, General Manny Bautista, have always been trying to align and will continuously align with the DSWD initiatives. We firmly believe that partnering with our government, national and at the local level, will be the best and proper way to be able to augment a lot of the requirements of our very own people. Likewise, we would like to assure that in good and in challenging times, the Ayala Foundation, together with the Ayala group of companies, will do its best, to its best of its abilities, to be able to continually provide the services and the health that is needed most in those times. So again, maraming salamat po, Secretary. Maraming salamat po sa inyong team. At maraming salamat sa tiwala at oportunidad na binibigay nyo para maging parte ng solusyon sa ating bayan. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Ayala Foundation Incorporated, for that commitment of continued support in the delivery of social welfare services to the poor.